A, keeping it a stack here, the best possible grade as we go into game number 3. Let's look at the draft. BTR going to be on blue side, Team Liquid ID on the red.
Oh, look at that statement from Liquid ID now. We saw your Kalea. We're not impressed.
We don't care.
Do it one more time.
We don't like the Harith though. So does this mean Shiki's gonna pick up the Irithel again?
Probably the Moskov, actually. He's
yeah.
gonna go for Moskov more than Irithel.
Moscov's open, yeah. But they get the Jawhead Suyo. There it is. JHS.
This is what I expected Game 1 to look like. Bigatron with the first pick, Granger, and then Suyo, Jawhead for Team Liquid ID. But for Bigatron, this should be a Joy pick. There you go. And then
Joy Selena. Are they crazy like that?
Probably gonna go for a safe pick like Badang or Cho again.
Oh, wait, it would make sense if they do decide to do that. But tell me a little bit more about TLIDs, especially with the Wise picking up this Jawhead. We saw it since last year, coming into this year.
That's all Widdy wants to play today.
Yeah, it's all what Widdy wants to play today. And it feels like he isn't the most, how do I put it? He isn't the most snowbally on it. He definitely feels a lot more responsive, more like defensive Jawhead. Yeah. I am the protector.
He's definitely more calculated. We do get the Cho, by the way. Yeah, he's definitely more calculated on the Jawhead. It's not a key boy kind of crazy, unstoppable force, flicker to the other side, ejector type of playmaker. He's more, safe. We play for objectives. We play for my calls. And that's what you get. I think it's the same way he plays the Cho.
It's a utilitarian Jawhead.
Utilitarian Jawhead.
Pragmatic. It's not explosive. It's not high impact. It's pragmatic. Like he'll make the most of that kit.
He'll do it for charity. That's right. What he's looking for.
It's for the future.
It's for the kids.
That's right.
That's why he's wise.
That's why the wisest amongst the young stallions. Coming into the second phase here, this is where it's going to get real scary. We've seen strong openers from both of these teams. And once again, Aran going to get his hands on the Hilda. I wouldn't be too surprised if Bigatron decide to go for high loss once more. They've got composition that kind of makes it work, I suppose. But are there other options we're missing out?
Let's go.
Huh.
Yep.
Badang, I guess, right?
Yes, but also a mid laner. Like, what is BTR gonna play?
I think
because I could have sworn they were gonna go for the Selena again.
Yeah,
it hurt Liquid so bad. There, never mind.
Yeah, it gets banned out. That's a good read by Liquid ID. They know how scary it is to go up against Moreno when they have a Cho to help the Selena to open up the map.
It's just too perfect. You don't lose, man. You learn.
Exactly.
But they've also made the question of what is the final ban going to be for BTR? Are they going to get rid of the Farsa like we saw previously in game number 1 picked up by TLID? They're going to go for the Moskov instead, which means Farsa will fall into the hands of TLID.
What does Shikster play then? Claude?
Carry Claude.
Still sound like the carry, dude.
Yeah. I'm with Leo on this one. I'm not a big fan right now.
What else? Like Beatrix is even worse against the Cho, right? So
he's always just reverted to the Claude, man.
Yeah, I think the Claude will probably be the last pick coming in for the Liquid ID. They do go for the Farsa. This time it's a bit more risky because you have a Joy on the other side, but again, it's the same kind of formula that they went for in Game 1, but just better. They have dive, enough dive to create a safe space for the Farsa to just feather airstrike.
Man, I find it so strange that TLID is now reverting to, hey, instead of like playing around our 2 big cores, Aaron Shiki now takes a back step and Widdy has gone up in priority in terms of the draft. I'm so used to seeing jungle, marksman, let's go.
Yeah, and then the mid lane later, like a Xavier, like a random pick.
Yeah, his skill cries in Indonesian. Now, Bigatron Esports going to be lucky at the high loss as well as, the Yiv this time around to kind of keep it within the box.
Okay. So still a high-lows, despite the fact that, again, the high-lows didn't do well against the Hilda, the Jawhead in game number 2. They still go for the high-lows. Maybe this time, Luke has taken a learn as well instead of a loss. He's learned from that mistake of walking up with no one there to back him up.
He's got better support now. Like, the draft around this high-loss feels so much better. And yeah, I'm gonna say it. This is a Claude game for Shiki. Especially since we confirmed the high-loss and the Eve.
Yeah.
He has to protect himself. He has to pick a very mobile hero.
I've got to blink out.
Yeah, he's got to blink out. It's got to be MI here. All right. You guys called the draft so far. Which team are you favoring at this point based off of their drafts?
All right. We say it on together. 3, 2, 1. Liquid.
Yeah.
Ooh, both.
Wait, are you cursing? Are you Do not do this, Mirko.
I'm not trying to curse.
Okay.
Listen, Leo, I try to curse for Bigatron's opponents every time. It doesn't work.
All right. Okay. You just like this draft.
I really like the draft. this is game 1 draft, but better for Liquid.
I agree. I agree that it's a game 1 draft, but slightly better. But I think that Bigatron, this is more within their play style, right? At least they have a couple more options in the way they can actually engage and play from multiple different angles here. But that's just me playing devil's advocate at this point. As we are going to start heading into game 3, I'm excited to see how this is going to play out one more time, because this is a repeat of game number 1 with the big difference being, hey, we got Yve, we want to keep it in the box rather than throwing out random bolts and praying that it mixes. Now, take it over, our casters. It's going to be Mirko and as well as Leo taking the mic.
It's time to get into the Land of Dawn and finally settle the score. Who gets the dub here? Is it Bigatron Esports with the momentum snatched from underneath them by Team Liquid ID with a draft that, again, we would argue and admit takes some cues from both Game 1 and Game 2.
We gotta remember though, Leo, in game 2, we did also say that we like Bigatron's draft a bit more, right?
Oh no.
It's a thing for Bigatron, really. When they don't have the stronger draft, usually they execute the game plan a bit better. And when they do have the stronger draft, they don't. You know, it's just a Bigatron thing, man. You know, I've been a fan of this team for so long. I know their patterns, and that's been the pattern for the longest time. And whoa!
Excuse me?
In the bottom lane, Eman just...
We'll put him in that corner. You see that corner?
I see him. It's almost like he got scolded by the teacher, told to just stand in the corner.
That's right. Oh my god. Time out. Time out, Eman.
What?
That is a free first blood down bottom. Up top, though.
Oh, yes. Kill going to be caught. Annabelle puts in the beats a bit rough. Fabian's still able to claim it. Annabelle gets level 4. Now it jumps back over to Fabian. Soul Sever coming in. Annabelle electrifying beats to escape.
So far, Team Liquid ID, they're playing to this tempo, their tempo, the Liquid Stampede trademark. Team Liquid up by about 500 gold, and the first turtle will be spawning in the upper quarter in about 20 seconds. So we saw that the gold lane definitely is a win for Aaron Shaky. Great start for him. How about that mid lane? What's that mid lane like?
I think it should be favorable for the Yve. It really comes down to the roamers to turn it around.
Oh!
Ejector Luke pops in revitalized, and that is the Jawhead we're talking about. Hylos shredded down.
Witty waking up. His investment in this Jawhead paying off, saying, Coach, I'm playing Jawhead today. You can't stop me. Team Liquid ID scores a massive early game objective in that turtle.
Not even Bigatron can stop him from picking that Jawhead, man. The Jawhead and the Hylos pick up. Eman in the bottom lane for the airstrike, locking him down. Another kill onto Eman with Aaron Shaky picking up the kill.
Another one down bottom. 2 of the 3 kills for Team Liquid ID in the early game is on Eman, and Aran here just bothering Annabelle, living in his personal space.
Down below, Aaron still able to escape Jeet Kune Do from Light. Man, that's a lot of gold that they were able to soak in down below, and that's a lot of gold Eman will be missing out on, by the way. Gold Crab completely denied away from him. So Aaron's probably sitting on like a 600, 700 gold lead early on. Fabian also has a big gold lead with a kill. There you go. We get to see the gold leaderboard.
Big money.
Oh,
Eman's trying. Eman's catching up.
wow.
He took a cap. You see that? He took a small cap. Oh, Glorious Pathway.
Wait, the dragon locked him down. That's an Annabelle walking and dying over to the Feather Airstrike. A kill over Aaron Shaky with the blazing. Wait over to Luke coming down as well. Eman, so kind of way Aran falls under the real world manipulation, and it will be a kill. Annabelle, Luke traded for Witty.
All right, there's one way to counter the real-world manipulation. Number 1, force it out of your opponent. And number 2, walk up to it in a way that your opponent regrets putting it in that spot. Aran here gets flushed out by Eman. Dude, 3.5 minutes in, Liquid is unrelenting. They are making Eman's life a living hell.
I want to shut down Eman on the Granger. It's a great move.
They're oppressing him.
This has been a way for Bigatron to, you know, get wins in the past. Even when the team loses, they can always just rely on Eman on the Granger to carry in the mid game. But this time, it'll be a bit later, I think, for Eman to get those items. And even then, Aaron in the bottom lane. Oh, Witty coming down as well. Unstoppable force. Flicker out from Eman. Goes in for a bit more damage over to Witty, who's going to be very low. Aaron should get the blazing duet coming down as well. 2 members down below. That means Bigatron have a man advantage up top.
That is huge. It's a 3v4 there, but Light still goes down first. Haskell pops him.
Retribution One out by Annabelle. Moreno taking low, still able to cut away. Aran walking up again. Annabelle looking for RW. Went for the shielding. Aran bypasses it. Luke would revitalize a Queller from Fabian to take Annabelle down.
And Aran gets away with murder. Who'd have thunk by diving 2 turrets deep, jumping onto Moreno, getting the kill, getting out would be passable. And this whole time, Witty and Aaron Shiki do not get punished. That was a 3v4, man. Called 3v4.
Whoa. A win 3v4, 3 kills to nothing. They only got a turtle out of that.
Liquid is so back.
They are angry. After that game 1 loss, BTR now in a tough spot for the airstrike coming down as well. And Mom might just be taken down by the Feather airstrike. Light able to provide backup in time, but man, they are really shutting down Eman.
Oh, I said 3.5 minutes, it's on Eman. 5.5 minutes still on Eman. And yeah, you're right. Light is doing a good job playing an enforcer, a bodyguard, an escort for Eman, but it's not working out. Like, this means the rest of the map for Bigatron is passive, is defensive.
You can see it again. Even taking this orange buff is a problem. Aran is just taking those shots like a champ. The cannon minion with a trade up top. Orange buff still being held on, but Fabian wants it. He's a level ahead of Annabelle. Revitalize from Luke. Get a bit more HP. Eman's over there as well. The retribution will come through from Fabian to steal this orange buff away from Bigatron.
Perfect timing. No turtle coming up for about 20 seconds. Annabelle's been busy. Annabelle worked out that trade up top, the tier 1 takedown. But there is their own tier 1 who's like, what, a breath away from going down as well. Turtle spawning in just a bit. And look at this, very sneaky. Team Liquid ID know that they're so ahead that they can still win the 3v4s, 3v5s. They keep Witty and Shiki down here.
Conceal. Over from Witty. Eman's going to clear out the wave in the mid lane. Unstoppable force. Eman with a flicker out. Oh, that's a flicker. Also responding. Overblazing duet from Aaron Shiki.
Yeah, Hezkiel gets taken down. It's a man advantage for Bigatron. Make that too. Shiki falls.
Oh, Annabelle looking for the kill. Fabian able to dash away again. Eman with that Sonata. 2 for 0 in favor of BTR.
The biggest of all clutches, suddenly, what seemed like an engagement initiated by Team Liquid ID turns into a 2-man pickoff for Bigatron Esports. Amazing response from the Red Robots.
Great read from Annabelle on that Joy. Coming in late to the team fight now, tickling Aran with that damage. It's really not taking any. Back to the bush, back to full HP. Annabelle, retry up in a bit, but he will not be able to contest. They will be happy just by leveling the lead just a bit more.
Yep, taking it down a notch from about 4,000 approaching to just 2,500 gold, 7.5 minutes in. Final turtle going over to Team Liquid ID. Still in control of the game, and they're taking control of mid. I do not know what's next for Team Liquid ID, honestly. They could snap any moment. Bear down on this buff down here. Light shoved out of that bush.
Luke walks back in. Luke trying to get control over this. Annabelle, level 11 to Fabian's 12. All right. TLID won't force the issue. They'll go straight to the mid lane, poking Light out. Orange buff taken by Annabelle without using the retribution this time around. And both teams are just playing for the waves at this point, waiting for the next neutral objective to spawn.
All right, looking at the item check here, that's a gold lead across the board, the most massive one between the junglers, Favian and Annabelle, just a Starlium Scythe on Annabelle, while a BOD on the way here for Favian. Does Shiki know? Did he see Annabelle here?
No.
Oh, sneaky. Oh, cancels it. He might go for the kill. Does he want to go for the 1v1?
They don't know where everyone is. They only see where the Suyo is.
Oh, look at that cut.
Annabelle walks up. The PMI gets placed down. Annabelle will be able to clear it out. Unstoppable force all the way to the back. And that's the big pong. Annabelle taken down by Aran. Lou walking up as well. Moreno looking for the damage again. Really able to flicker around as Eman goes for the Detonata. Fabian. Blade Surge just to threaten them away from that tier 2.
The commitment and the patience by Team Liquid ID. Impressive. The fact that it took a while for them to actually see where everyone else was, and they're still committed to getting at least one takedown. And how fortunate it is for the Cavalry that it's a jungler, that it's Annabelle. It's a key pickoff. And here they hold their ground. 10 seconds until the Lord spawns. Lower quarter of the map. Team Liquid ID relentless. Like they're not letting Bigatron Esports breathe. They're both freezing the lanes and making sure that if Bigatron commits to something, somewhere else on the map cracks.
Well, there you go. back to where they started. Not really where they started, but it's closer, right? It was 5,000 gold lead when Bigatron got 2 for 0. Team Liquid back to almost a 4,000 gold lead. Witty in the bush. This time, Immortality. Oh, Mon gets chunked down for the airstrike, forcing him to flicker out. Light goes in for the kick, but Yeskiel is able to flicker out. Now Luke gets brought back in the blazing duet there. Way the Dragon canceled out by the Purify. It is all clean from Liquid ID.
A lot of ults and battle spells spent there by Bigatron Esports, only resulting in a takedown. So they're a man down. Luke is out. There's ill intentions from Fabian and Witty. They see Anavel.
Oh, that ejector over to Fabian. Anavel will have the dashes. Can he escape? Yes, he can. Turret taken by the minions in the bottom lane as Anavel pushed it earlier. Yeskiel in the bush. Looking for the stun. Moreno with the flicker out. Almost catching him. Yeskiel wings by wings out of there. No Purify for Aaron, but he does well. Stayed patient with the BMI. Did not rush to it. Forced Light out of the cooldown of the Jeet Kune Do.
Impressive spatial awareness by the Ghost of Jakarta, Yeskiel. Died only once this game. How he claimed that moniker. Every time, in this single fight alone, he has dodged so many frontline, backline hunters from Bigatron Esports, and now he's back in the fight. Again, this is what you get with that buff on Farsa. The wings by wings gets you there so much sooner.
And this is what you get when you put Yeskiel on a signature high ground hero. Witty, unstoppable force at the ejector. Luke able to sustain out of it though. Light not going to. Feathered airstrike. Used up. Anavel walking forward now. Goes for electrifying beast. Retreat battle. It's Fabian who claims the Lord. Aran stops Anavel in his tracks.
Flavor Fave with a big ticket win. A lesser jungler would have panicked when they see a fully charged up, stacked out electrifying beats Joy. Fabian, not that kind of jungler. 404 errors not found for Team Liquid so far. They've been playing clean, man. Sure, there was a 2-man pickoff in the mid game, but now at 11.5 minutes, a Lord on their side marching through top. They're clean. They can take this slow. Again, the same cadence they had in game 2. They can make that work again.
Oh, Melfic gun for Aaron Shiki. Leo, this is what we call a stompy stomp.
This is a Liquid stampede to the finest. TM.
Raise to the power of 5.
Cubed.
See Halberd for Eman. A bit more firepower for BTR to play with, but not nearly enough to deal with just the front line alone. Aran, this game is still the untouchable. Oh wait, no, that's Aaron. Close enough.
Wait. All right, they're pushing in. Every wave synced well through, and Bigatron Esports have to deal with this right now. Luke drops the glorious pathway. They're trying the feathered airstrike.
Oh, Aran's just playing with BTR. Look at the way he's zoning. No damage taken for Aran. BTR don't even want to use their resources on Hilda.
Some no bush gaming Hilda. Like, he was literally inside the base.
He was running laps.
Wailing on dudes. Like, I'm not even healing. How are you not hurting me? That is how dominant Liquid is right now. This is, folks, in case y'all don't know, Aran is one of the pioneers of Hilda in the modern metagame.
Best Hilda XP for sure, for me.
His signature hero became a highlight pick. Oh, wow, the finesse! Oh. Liquid ID, those minions were wearing jerseys. They were blue. I saw them.
They're on red side, but those minions are certainly wearing blue today.
They got that 25th anniversary jersey.
They got that as a special logo. By the way, it looks slick, clean. For Liquid ID, they're back to playing a slow game. Again, for BTR, they do better in these, very cramped spaces where they can actually utilize that box. But as long as Liquid ID play it slow, go for the neutral objectives, attack from these different angles, utilize the poke, there's not much Bigatron can do to keep the box alive. The box is a cardboard box that has been beaten up and torn to shreds, man.
It's a concept.
It's a fallacy.
It's an abstract fallacy. It's a myth right now because, say what you will, at 14 minutes, Team Liquid ID, time is still on their side. Sure, Eman is stacking up, but look, they can freeze the map. They can make sure that the waves don't cross the river as much. So Bigatron Esports have to crawl out of their base for resources. Look, Luke is a walking sentry, man. Like that's a mythical beast used as a sentry. Like, that's a huge waste to
Look at that.
abilities for... Oh, he's trying. See, he tried again.
Oh, man. That's a free lord to TLID as Aran just stood in the bush, giving the information to the team and then walking up saying, what you going to do about it?
It's man-to-man defense. Like, no, sir, you're not allowed here.
No.
Sir.
And to make things even worse for BTR, that's Aran. He's already untouchable. Has the immortality too now. So even if you get to touch him, it's not gonna do good for you. It's gonna be pretty bad for you.
It'll be a lot of wasted ults. It'll be a lot of wasted battle spells, which we've already seen.
Oh man, you have to go for Wind of Nature. That's when you know it's tough, right? You have to go Wind of Nature. Good damage from Iman, but it's on Yehezkiel. You see the damage on Aran and you're like, what damage?
And that sucks. An Expilator threatened you that way. Aran chunked down a half health here.
Oh.
Ejector on the Luke.
A big bonk. Oh my lord, the shred from Aaron Shiki. Say goodnight to Luke. 2 games on the Hylos. First game it was I think 1-7. Now it's 0-4. Back into the fence again. Iman doing damage this time. Gets the Sky Piercer proc over to Aran now. Is that gonna be Fabian? Locked down in place. Fabian giving away the shutdown in the bottom lane. A mistake, but not the costliest of mistakes yet. They can still recover from this. They did lose an immortality on Aran, and BTR is starting to deal damage.
That's one step back in what seems to be a sprint. Light dashing on through, trying to find that kick on to Aaron Shiki. Luckily, Shiki got that BMI perfectly on time. Has yet to press the Purify in a while.
There's no one to force the Purify outside of Light, right? So it's very different to game number 1. We had the Badang. The Badang could be the one to start off the engages, bait out the Purifies for Light to then get a pick off 30, 20 seconds later. Now it's just Light. He has to do everything himself, baiting out Purifies, opening up the map. I'm saying that because Luke cannot open up the map.
Nope.
On this Hylos against the Jawhead,
Nope.
you open up the map, you dead.
The best thing you can do is just stand in a bush and say, they can't cross this line. But that's it. It's a small time gig. He's not going to buy a house and a car out of that.
Is that another concept?
It's another concept.
It's a theory. It's a game theory.
It is just something that he can think about, but not do anything about right now. That's what's happening for
It's part of the late night talks of the boys, you know, something you just think about.
Yep. It's not giving. It's just not giving.
1,000.
It's an L he has to take right now.
He does have an L in his name, so maybe it's from there, right? He just takes the L from...
Yeah. Well, we've seen them come back from worse. Remember, game 1, they had 2 lanes pushed in, like 2 inhibitors lost, and they still came back from that. Who's to say, right?
But they had the opening. They had the... Oh, Iman on the bottom lane. Kites away.
Oh!
Witty, unstoppable. Oh, reads it out. Witty the Wise. Well played. Iman got read out. He gets taken down by the Usurper. And there goes the opening that Bigatron thought of.
All the way in. As many concepts and theories as Bigatron Esports can play with, them being programmed to win is not in the books for Team Liquid. ID's Stampede. They ran through Iman, bro. They threw so much at him and eventually found him. Down goes Annabelle. Shiggy touched everybody.
Winter Crown, immortality to Luke Fallen as well. The robots are crumbling. You cannot out-concept, out-theorize Witty the Wise.
And this was all this while we had an absentee jungler. Fabian was taking the Lord alone, and now it's an end angle inside the base.
The Cavalry looking for the charge in. Fabian gets locked back in, but gets ejected to Aaron Shiki. Light going to be falling to Aaron Shiki. Fabian takes the damage, goes for the immortality, and gets out. And Mon baited away, taken down with the Fender airstrike.
Inside the base, and the Winter Crown popped on the Yehezkiel. His immortality down.
It's all over. Liquid ID complete the reverse sweep against Bigatron Esports.
It went all the way. But at the end of the day, the defending MPLID champions take the win. 2-1.